Over the weekend, 132 people were killed in attacks in Paris. They were carried out by ISIS, and here's what we know right now. France has officially declared that they are at war with ISIS. There is now an international manhunt for the suspects involved in the attacks, and President Barack Obama has vowed to stand in solidarity with the G20 nations in hunting down the attackers to bring them to justice for their crimes. We also have breaking news, though, just happening right now. ISIS right now is reportedly threatening D.C., telling the city to be on, quote, high alert. So we'll have updates on that story throughout the show as it comes in.
Now, tributes to the victims appeared globally. With more on the ways RMU students were dealing with the news, here's RMU-LIVE's Morgan Torsha.
This past Friday, Paris went under a series of attacks led by ISIS that left hundreds dead and even more wounded. We went around and asked Robert Morris students how they felt about the attacks.
I thought it was terrible. I don't like violence, really. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to understand what's going on, really, with the world today. But I also don't think it's the best answer is to retaliate. I think violence just leads to more violence, and I don't know what we need to do, really. So
I just immediately thought back to 9/11. It's not the same thing, but it's basically the same thing. It's happening to them, and I just keep thinking it's not going to stop in Paris. It's going to keep going, and that's just really scary for the world.
I was actually in my room on Snapchat, and I was looking at it, and there was a theme that was going on, and I was like, "What is this?" And then someone actually had to explain it to me. And I was like, oh, it was very devastating. I didn't really know how to react at first.
I see on Facebook everybody's lighting up with the flag, and Obama's made statements, so I think we're really supporting them, helping them out.
I guess there is kind of a paranoia. I've been hearing that ISIS is coming for us next, but I really don't know what to expect.
Our security's been pretty high since 9/11. I think we'll probably be fine, but we have to be still pretty careful. Keep an eye out for things, keep an eye out for things that are suspicious. But other than that, I think we'll be fine.
Paris is still trying to recover from the attacks. Meanwhile, the U.S. itself has its guard up for the coming holidays. Reporting from outside of Nicholson, I'm Morgan Torsha with Century Media.
Now, we'll have updates on the attacks in Paris throughout the entire show today, but first, Delaney and I would like to just take a minute to talk about this very complicated situation. Delaney?
So, Eddie.
Yes.
Friday evening, I don't know about you, but I got an update on my phone saying that Paris was under terrorist attack.
Sure.
And we do know that 6 locations were attacked.
Mm-hmm.
They were restaurants, the concert hall, I think it was the Bataclan concert hall, was that not the name?
Correct. So there were 6 locations that were attacked. There were 3 teams. They were staged and coordinated throughout those 6 locations in Paris. As you mentioned, a concert hall and 2 restaurants were these specific places focused. The French began their retaliation over the weekend against ISIS already. They have pinpointed the location of this sect of ISIS to be in Syria. So that's where a lot of these strikes are being carried out and are taking place in Syria. One of the important things that I've seen, though, coming out of these news reports is we've heard a lot in the last few weeks about Syrian refugees leaving the country. And while a few of these men did purportedly come from those channels, all refugees from Syria are not the people who carried this out. So that's an important thing to take away from this entire situation. But Syria is the main location of where this happened.
This is such a devastating thing to happen to Paris, and a lot of people are trying to pay tribute. I know a lot of landmarks around the world had red, white, and blue, the French flag all over the place. And then on Facebook, they did the the French flag, pardon me, and I've never seen more people do something to temporarily change their profile picture. It was amazing the support that the Parisians are getting.
Sure. Now, one of the other very important things that is coming out of this is it's very important to note that it's not usual for ISIS to say that they are going to be attacking a place. So this incident that's happening in D.C. right now, over the weekend we got reports that they could be targeting as many as 15 states in the United States. That is not a normal thing to be happening.
Yeah, it's very shocking that they were almost making us aware and getting us time to prepare. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily a good thing, but that does give a time, like they said, quote, high alert.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what Washington, D.C. is like right now.
No, absolutely. And one last final update on this topic. Again, we will be covering this throughout the entire show. As of right now, 7 people were killed in the attacks over the weekend. 7 suspects were killed in the attacks. ISIS has claimed that there are 8, so there are still searches for more people involved in these attacks.